close customers came to danger.
Plus, FEMA funding, it is bringing a major investment to Beaumont's south end. What does a new investment mean ahead of hurricane season?
And high gas prices continue across southeast Texas. We hear from local economists on what's driving costs and why filling up is still a concern for many drivers. 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus starts now. Good morning and happy Friday. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. 7 a.m. right now. Let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a quick live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Looking at the skies of Beaumont here above the 12 News studio. Jeff, what can we expect today going into the weekend?
Today should look a lot like yesterday with temperatures up there into the lower 80s and maybe a couple of isolated showers. We're starting a little warmer though than yesterday, with the exception of Beaumont at 69. Everyone's in the 70s for this morning. 71 in Port Arthur, then Orange and Silsbee at about 72. Woodland, Jasper, and Kirbyville all sitting at about 70 degrees. Outside we have mostly cloudy skies in some areas. Other areas like here at our 12 News studio, we're kind of looking at partly cloudy skies for this morning as the sun's starting to lighten up the sky. Looks like I-10's going along pretty smoothly. If you're getting ready to head out the door here pretty shortly, looks like no problems out there. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. As I mentioned earlier, a small chance for a couple of showers out there popping up for today, just a 20% coverage, as we'll see highs in the 80s today with south winds at about 10 to 15. Looks like a dry, warm weekend. We'll have more on that coming up.
New details emerging in a disturbing murder case involving a musician. Prosecutors say a significant amount of child pornography was found on a phone belonging to the singer known as David. He's charged with killing and dismembering 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The disclosure came during a court hearing Thursday. An autopsy report released this week describes what investigators call a brutal killing, listing multiple stab wounds and a body found dismembered in the suspect's Tesla several months ago. The singer has pled not guilty and remains in custody without bail. A preliminary hearing is now set for May 1st, when a judge will decide if there's enough evidence for a trial.
Well, police, they responded to a mass shooting at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge Thursday. Police there say that one person is dead, 5 others injured. Investigators believe that this shooting, it was a targeted incident between 2 groups of people who were arguing in the food court. Police say that 5 people are in custody connected to that shooting. The mayor of Baton Rouge says the quick police response likely saved lives. Now, this is a developing story, and as we learn more, we're going to keep you updated. You can also use your phone right now to scan this QR code on your screen to download our app, 12 News Plus, and stream the latest details for free. Well, this morning, 2 minors remain in custody after a shooting and crash in Beaumont. Now, Tuesday, police say that a driver was shot at on Calder Avenue, then chased before the suspects crashed into another car and fled. Both suspects are now facing charges. That includes for deadly conduct and aggravated robbery.
A quiet Thursday morning turned chaotic after a car slammed into a local coffee shop in Lumberton. It happened just before 11 a.m. at Good Grounds Coffee and Cafe off South Main Street. Check out this video. You can see a vehicle trying to park in the handicapped spot, but ended up driving through the front doors of the building instead. The storefront is significantly damaged. Shop owner Will Gallagher told us that he had left the shop about 30 minutes before this happened. He said staff called him and told him what happened. Customers were inside at the time, but thankfully no one was hurt.
There was a gentleman, from what I understand, sitting right in front of the window, and it looks like he was pushed with his chair that he was in. I guess the chair kind of protected him. He had a few scrapes, but looks like he's going to be okay, thank goodness. And of course the car kept coming all the way into the bar and pushed our coffee bar, and luckily the staff was able to get out of the way as well.
The driver was taken to a nearby hospital as a precaution. Investigators are still working to determine what led to the crash. Hurricane season is just around the corner, and FEMA announced the city of Beaumont will receive $10.17 million to mitigate flooding in the south end of the city. Nationwide flood mitigation efforts are getting a boost, with FEMA announcing more than $250 million Wednesday for over 100 projects. FEMA says the funding will support the construction of 6 detention basins along Virginia Street, along with underground culverts designed to improve drainage between Avenue A and 4th Street. Residents say the new project comes to the city's south end is something they've been waiting on, especially for families who have been through several floods and hurricanes. For Beaumont resident Elwood Pete, flooding has been a constant concern in his Avenue A neighborhood. He's lived in the home for 35 years and remembers the impact left behind by Hurricanes Harvey and Imelda.
Looked at like something that we only would see on television somewhere else. We never did dream that would happen here, but the flooding was astronomical. I mean, it was really deep. I mean, inside the house we had like 2 foot of water.
He says some of his neighbors didn't even return to their homes after flooding, but believes these new projects can save him the headache of another flooded home.
President Trump is defending the ongoing war with Iran, telling reporters that Americans they should continue to expect higher gas prices for now, as he feels no pressure to end this war quickly, but insisting that that pain is going to be worth it in the long run and leveling a new threat in the Strait of Hormuz. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
The United States is just
President Trump standing firm that time is on his side in the war with Iran.
we have plenty of time, and I want to get a great deal.
Counting on economic pressure from the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports to force Iran to negotiate, though the regime says that's a key obstacle to a deal. The president announced he's ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat that's putting mines in the Strait of Hormuz, and saying the U.S. has total control over the strait despite Iranian attacks on 3 commercial ships that the regime claims is shown in this highly produced video, and President Trump downplayed.
Their military is totally defeated. They're outside of the little wise guy ships. I call them the wise guy ships, the little boats that they have running around with guns in them.
Still, the president acknowledged the turmoil may keep gas prices higher here at home.
For a little while. And you know what they get for that? You know what they get for that? Iran without a nuclear weapon.
Pressing the case for his strategy as polls show Americans increasingly frustrated with the war's costs, and pointing to victories in degrading Iran's military and taking out senior leaders.
They don't even know who's leading the country. They're in turmoil.
Despite those successes, new NBC News reporting finds Iran's regime may have benefited politically from the attacks started by the U.S. and Israel. That's according to a Western diplomat with knowledge of the conflict and 5 Western officials with knowledge of intelligence assessments on Iran. 5 of the officials said the regime is more stable and slightly more hardline now than before the war. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And meanwhile, the average Texan is still paying more at the gas pump. That's according to AAA. The 409, it ranks as the 5th most expensive area to buy gas in the state. Now, heading to the pump is becoming a weekly strain for many drivers. And while prices, they have seen some recent relief in parts of the state, experts say that could be short-lived. Tensions there involving Iran combined with higher summer demand, they are pushing prices back up in the weeks ahead. 12 News spoke with a Lamar University economics professor who says that gas prices staying high in our region has little to do with the amount of refineries right here in the Golden Triangle. It has to do with demand and expectations.
Refineries right now are switching over to a summer blend of gasoline, and that's putting increased pressure on gasoline prices to go up higher. So if we announce that there's going to be a ceasefire and the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open, then those expectations will cause prices to come down. And it's all expectations.
And that professor there predicts prices are not going to go down for another 2 to 3 months. Meet our 12 News pet of the week, Norton. He's a 1-year-old, 35-pound pup with a big personality. Now, he's social, playful, and he makes friends wherever he goes, from kids to other pets. Now, Norton is ready to find his forever home. Just don't expect him to be a fan of marching bands or plastic bags. You can meet and adopt Norton today at the Humane Society. Music at the McFaddens. That's going to return to the McFadden Ward House in Beaumont tonight. 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's live out there this morning with a look ahead at the event. We've got that coming up.
We begin with breaking news.
The Union Pacific train derailed. Story 5 Total reporter Derek Jones. Derek, what are you seeing tonight?
We have live team coverage tonight at Breaking It All Down.
Hardin County Sheriff shares he could face charges in Hardin County.
We're continuing to follow developing news.
Coming up right there behind me is an ambulance that is running hot.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
After my injury, I lost my sense of purpose.
I lost the ability to tuck my daughters into bed.
Homes for Our Troops build specially adapted homes with features that allow our veterans to function independently and focus on their recovery and family. This life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a home where I can be a dad.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a brighter future.
We need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Learn more at hfotusa.org.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. At 12 News, we don't just cover this community, we're part of it. That's why we care so deeply about getting it right. Because when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves to vote, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart.
I am just so grateful.
Oh my gosh.
Through human storytelling that stays with you long after the moment passes. And at 12 News, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Beaumont.
I will carry you home, whether it's tonight or 55 years down the road.
Find your new furry friend with the 12 News Pet of the Week every Friday on 12 News.
Your stories covered by the team you trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Drought conditions hitting much of the U.S. They are hindering firefighting operations in locations including Georgia. Meanwhile, the U.S. heartland is getting hit hard with tornadoes. Reed Binion reports.
Honestly, I think they're in shock. It's very quiet. They're coming in. There's not much movement around the hotel.
A hotel in South Georgia doing what it can to help residents forced to evacuate amid raging wildfires.
I think that they're just really scared of what's going to happen and where their next moves are.
Tragically, some have already lost their homes, only able to look out onto the ash-covered ground where their houses once stood.
This continues to be a very high-threat environment with a lot of unknowns. We cannot control the weather.
That weather very, very dry.
Overall in our region, we're experiencing exceptional drought conditions, very low humidities, high fire danger indicators with wind.
Georgia, along with much of the continental U.S., is facing a major drought. Nearly 2/3 of the lower 48 states are affected as of this week. The U.S. Drought Monitor says it's the largest spring drought on record, taking a heavy toll on the west, the southeast, and the plains, a region that is also facing a tornado threat, including Oklahoma, where this massive twister struck on Thursday night. The destructive stovepipe tornado in northern central Oklahoma was on the ground for more than 30 minutes, leaving injuries and significant damage in its wake. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Outside, we have partly to mostly cloudy skies. You look up towards the Jasper area for this morning. This camera brought to you by Provalis. Seeing the skies starting to lighten up. And quite a bit of cloud cover out there with moisture moving in across the area. In the form of some clouds. Not seeing too much on the radar for this morning. Matter of fact, it's been pretty dry except for maybe a couple of little sprinkles here and there. Temperatures holding pretty close to 70. We're at 69 in Beaumont, 72 in Orange, 71 in Port Arthur. Silsbee's at 72, and then Kirbyville, Jasper, and Woodville all sitting right at 70 for this morning. Winds are off the Gulf, out of the south, anywhere from about 5 to 8 miles per hour. Those winds will kick up to maybe closer to 10 to 15 as we get towards later on this afternoon. Not much going on as far as any active weather across southeast Texas. Most of the active weather you can see moving through Fort Smith overnight and now heading towards Little Rock. A big cluster of some rain and thunderstorms looks like working its way off towards the east and then a little bit to the southeast. It's probably going to be dropping down and affecting maybe northern parts of Louisiana a little bit later on this morning, maybe early this afternoon. Our futurecast takes us from the 70s this morning, eventually up into the 80s as we head towards, say, 11 o'clock noon, and then eventually we'll see highs anywhere from about 81 to 83 degrees here in the Triangle, from 83 to 85 up in the lakes area, with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies today. 70s for this evening, and then we stay right there, pretty much lower 70s around the Triangle here for tomorrow morning. I think we might see some upper 60s towards the lakes area. So here's our forecast. You can see those lower to middle 80s for this afternoon with mostly cloudy skies, and we keep in a 20% chance of maybe a few isolated showers for today. There'll be very few of those. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, south winds at 5 to 10, and temperatures generally in the lower 70s. I'll put in some upper 60s towards the lakes area to start off on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, highs in the middle 80s, around 86. Morning lows will be in the 70s. And then after that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will continue to be dry next week, and warmer temperatures, 87, 88. And then as we go towards Thursday, we do see a chance for maybe a few showers. That's going to be afternoon hours on Thursday. And as I've been mentioning this morning, might go a little bit higher on those rain chances once we get a little bit closer to Thursday. But right now, since it's 7 days out, we'll go 30% there of a few showers by late in the week.
So warm and humid, is that pretty much the best way to sum it up?
For the weekend, yeah, and into early next week. So outdoor plans, I would have some water on hand. If you're going to be outside for a few hours, maybe doing something to exert yourself, softball practice, baseball practice or something, make sure you're staying hydrated.
Perfect weather for those love bugs.
Yes, it is. All right, thank you, Jeff. And happening tonight in Beaumont, another magical evening. It's going to be at the McFadden Ward House with music at the McFaddens.
It'll feature the Symphony of Southeast Texas String Quartet, and 12 News reporter Derek Jones has been there all morning learning about what we can expect. Derek.
Marketia, you can hear different types of music from classical to contemporary, and I'm joined by Sarah Parker and Maestro Chelsea Timpton. Could you tell me a little bit about what the event that's going on tonight?
Yes, tonight we're going to be having one of our popular music at the McFadden concerts here on our front lawn of the historic home, and we are going to be bringing in the Symphony of Southeast Texas String Quartet that is going to be playing some beautiful music. It's a fun, free family event, open to all ages. You can bring in blankets, chairs. We're going to have some limited seating here, so there will be some chairs available. You can bring in dinner, drinks, and just come wind down your weekend with a fun event with us.
Gotcha. And then Mr. Timpton, I know you guys are going to be playing on this patio right here. Could you tell me a little bit about how you're going to be able to balance classical music with contemporary music?
We always like to have a mix. It's if you put together a menu, you want to have a mix of different types of foods, and this concert certainly has this. Before we came on the air, Sarah was saying, I hope I recognize some music. You will absolutely recognize some music, and there'll be some new things, some classical, Eine kleine Nachtmusik. When you hear it, you'll absolutely recognize it. But also we'll have some music from the Beatles. We'll have some music from Queen. And, you know, like we were saying, it's important to support the arts, and this is such a beautiful setting. We've been out here all morning. The birds and just the nature sounds along with the music is going to make it a magical, magical evening. And these grounds are the perfect setting for music with your Symphony of Southeast Texas.
Gotcha. And could you tell me a little bit about the players who are going to be playing tonight?
Sure. So these are our principal players. We have Mauricio Oliveras, who's our concert master, Sarah Azepo, who's our principal second, viola player, Bill Tackett, and Omar Escobar, who's going to be our cello player. And these are all the members of our string section, and these are the leaders in our string section. And we're happy that we're going to be able to present them and have them to share their music. And there'll be a little talking and engagement with the audience as well with the music for this evening.
Gotcha. And then what time could we see this event happening tonight?
Yes, the gates will open at 6 p.m. The music will start at 6:30 right here at the historic McFadden Ward House, 1906 McFadden in Beaumont.
All right, thank you so much. In Beaumont, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, looks like a lot of fun out there. We'll have to go check it out.
Well, check this out. Tia's Tales is in Jasper tomorrow. Employees at the library are hosting their first annual book festival. The reading events will include local artists, storytellers, and poets. I'm on schedule to read from 12 noon to 1 p.m. at Sandy Creek Park. Come out. It's a free event.
7:19 right now. We're going to do a little trending news here on 12 News Plus. And Shrek, it's going to be back in theaters for its 25th anniversary. Fans, they can head to the big screen to relive the beloved animated classic.
Yeah, for a limited time, theaters are offering special collectible outhouse popcorn buckets with a large popcorn.
This is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Shrek was a good movie. It'll be available starting May 1st while supplies last. Shrek is back in theaters starting May 15th. Did you know Shrek is credited with helping transform DreamWorks Animation into a major Hollywood player? When the film hit theaters in 2001, it became a massive box office success and the studio's first Oscar winner for Best Animated Feature. Well deserved.
Yes, very much so. Such a classic movie. And Eddie Murphy's character in that, the donkey.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, he was an annoying but loving donkey.
He sure was.
At the Bedford by Martha Stewart, a baked potato is turning heads and raising eyebrows.
All right, the dish created by Martha Stewart, it starts at about $17. But once you start adding those toppings like butter, chives, and especially the caviar, at price, it can climb to nearly $100 for a potato. The potato, it's smashed and prepared tableside, adding the upscale experience. Now, social media is buzzing over the $97 potato, with reactions ranging from shock to curiosity.
Absolutely not.
That better be grown in some magical garden somewhere.
Okay.
Better not be some. I better not see a sack of Idaho potatoes in the back. All right, now with the news from Red Lobster.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has an exclusive announcement from the CEO.
Your favorite shrimp promotion of the past 20 years is back.
It's the return of a customer favorite at Red Lobster.
Endless Shrimp is back.
Endless Shrimp, swimming back onto the restaurant chain's menu for a limited time starting today. The promotion so popular when it first became a menu staple in 2023 that it cost Red Lobster $11 million over just 3 months, the company going into bankruptcy in 2024. Since then, a new CEO has taken the helm, saying just last summer on GMA that an Endless Shrimp comeback was off the table.
We don't have any plans to bring it back. We listen intently to customer comments. We try to react really quickly to deliver people what they want.
So why now?
All you can eat shrimp for only $25. Sign me up.
Red Lobster pointing to social media enthusiasm as the reason for reversing course.
This is my last shrimp and I ate 51 shrimp.
I ate 46 shrimp.
But the move comes as the company, despite seeing improving sales, is still struggling to turn a profit.
There is some risk that you bring in a lot of traffic and that people only come in for that item.
Red Lobster isn't the only restaurant hoping to win back customers with new promotions. Olive Garden recently brought back its buy one, take one deal.
We are seeing consumers, they still want to go out to eat, but they go out less frequently. They are choosing to spend their hard-earned money in places that offer them, great value and also great experience.
How many shrimp can you eat?
I'm wondering how big the shrimp are.
50 shrimp? I could eat 50 shrimp in one sitting.
They just come out of nowhere. 50.
Give me some cocktail sauce.
I think Tia could eat 50.
Why do you think I could eat 50?
Because I've seen you eat crawfish. I think you could eat 50 shrimp.
Jeff has never seen me eat crawfish. He just knows that I eat crawfish.
I could eat 50 shrimp anytime.
It's small or jumbo?
Oh, probably small if it's going to be endless shrimp. Come on now.
7:23 right now. We will be back with more news and weather.
Sulfuric acid and another is flammable.
Stories are everywhere, in your neighborhood, across our city. We're here to bring you the ones that matter, from breaking news to the weather impact alerts that can change your day.
The potential for severe weather.
So you're not just informed, you're prepared. We live here, we're part of this community, and we take seriously the trust you place in us. These are your stories, covered by the team you know and trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Serious, man. I actually drive better when I'm live. If anything, I'm more careful. More chill. More relaxed. It just helps me focus.
Serious, 'Cause 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 'cause
just focus, you know.
I'm Eric Roberts, and I want to talk to you about giving, the gift of life. Right now, over 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. More than 90,000 of them need a kidney. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. To learn more about organ donation and how you can help, visit mnitf.org. Become an organ donor today.
Southeast Texas is filled with amazing stories, both on and off the field, and you can get all the action on your schedule. That's 12 News Plus. Add it to your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV today. What's better than free local sports?
Are rising costs and mounting debt leaving your wallet feeling just a little too thin? 12 News is offering tips on saving money and balancing your budget to get your finances back on track. Money matters, only on 12 News.
Bus stop forecast, warm out there in the 70s through recess and then 80s on the way home. Quick look at our coastal marine forecast. Southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. Next high tide is at 9:24 for tonight.
Still ahead on Daybreak, deadly gunfire inside the Louisiana's Mall of Louisiana leaves one person dead. The 5 suspects who are now in custody and what investigators say started it all.
Plus, children's gaming platform Roblox is facing serious scrutiny as Texas lawmakers highlight a game allowing users to play as the gunman in the Robb Elementary School shooting.
And later, questions are being raised about the viral looks maxing trend after an influencer experienced a medical emergency during a live stream.
Time now 7:27. We are looking at Beaumont from our 12 News studio camera. We'll be back with more news and weather here on 12 News Plus.
And good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. It's 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. First up, 2 minors are still in custody after a shooting and crash in Beaumont Tuesday. Police say a driver was shot at on Calder Avenue, then chased before the suspects crashed into another car and took off. Both now face charges including deadly conduct and aggravated robbery.
Take a look at this wild video of a car slamming into a Lumberton coffee shop yesterday morning. Now, this all happened at the Good Grounds Coffee and Cafe off of South Main. Police say that the driver was trying to park, but drove through the front doors instead. No one was hurt in all this. The driver was taken to the hospital as precaution, and the cause is under investigation.
Medical marijuana has been federally reclassified as a less dangerous drug. The change is expected to expand research, ease restrictions, and improve patient access, though critics warn it sends the wrong message. Officials stress it does not legalize recreational use. Taking a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network, our view of Lake Charles. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber standing by with the forecast. Jeff, it's Friday. It's the 7:30 hour. It's time to, you know what to do.
Take it up a notch, Jeff.
Let's go.
Friday.
All right. Let's take a look at temperatures.
Oh, boring.
We're right around the 70s for this morning. Matter of fact, a lot of locations at 70 degrees, like here in Beaumont, Kirbyville, Jasper, Woodville, right at 70. 72 Silsbee, Orange, and then 71 in Port Arthur. Outside, we see mostly cloudy skies across a good portion of the area. Some areas seeing some partly cloudy skies, but we'll see a little bit of sunshine today. Don't let these mostly cloudy skies fool you right now. Here's the view from Packard La Prairie on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network, currently showing 73. Humidity at 89%, south winds at about 4. And we're expecting highs today back in the 80s like yesterday. And we'll see about a 20% chance of a couple isolated showers today. There will be very few and far between, with south winds at about 10 to 15. Weekend looks dry and even warmer. We're expecting highs in the middle 80s. We'll have more on that coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff, well, check out this tornado that tore through a community south of Enid, Oklahoma yesterday. Now, it flattened homes and it caused widespread destruction, prompting an urgent search and rescue effort for anyone trapped in debris. Officials say the response efforts, they are ongoing. And we are learning more about a deadly shooting at a shopping mall in Baton Rouge.
Police now have 5 suspects in custody this morning. Shots rang out in the food court yesterday, sending shoppers scrambling to take cover. Police say 2 groups of people started arguing, which escalated into a shooting. 1 person was killed and 5 others were hurt, and we've now learned 3 of them are high school students. One of the mall employees described what she saw.
I saw him turning in circles and just shooting randomly at anybody by him.
The shooting was part of an extremely violent stretch in Louisiana, coming just 4 days after a man shot and killed 8 children in Shreveport. Jurors in Tanner Horner's murder trial heard from another one of his relatives yesterday.
Yeah, his defense team is working to spare his life for killing 7-year-old Athena Strand. Now, Horner's aunt took the stand saying that Tanner, he grew up in a violent and dysfunctional family and that his father was in prison for most of his life. The defense also called a scientist to say that Horner had been exposed to high levels of lead, which could have caused brain damage. Horner pled guilty to killing Athena in 2022. Jurors, they are deciding whether or not to send him to death row as testimony resumes this morning. And a protest is planned outside of Houston Police Headquarters this morning.
It's all over an HPD officer who recently went on a racist rant online. We told you about this story earlier this week. Officer Ashley Gonzalez has been relieved of duty after her video went viral this week. Our sister station says the protest comes as Gonzalez is set to meet with her supervisor and HPD leadership this morning. Community activists are demanding she be fired and that all her previous arrest cases be reviewed for any potential racial bias. HPD has said it's investigating. 7:34 right now. The popular children's game platform Roblox facing serious scrutiny this morning after Texas lawmakers raised alarms about a user-created game.
Yeah, in it you can apparently play as the gunman in the 2022 Robb Elementary shooting in Uvalde. Zach Briggs with our sister station in San Antonio. He breaks it all down.
It's like you relive that nightmare again, and then now you have to see it on some video game. These are screenshots from the game now stripped from Roblox. Virtual hallways of Robb Elementary, a playable avatar that's supposed to be the teenage gunman. Jesse Rizzo, whose niece Jackie Cazadis died in the 2022 shooting, cannot fathom why anyone would want to create or play such a game.
It's totally insensitive to think that someone would actually come up with that idea, to think that it's for whatever reason, I'm going to put it out there at an age where children are so vulnerable. The people that are downloading the game, that are playing the game, makes it seem like the value of a human life, it carries no weight at all.
Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows took to social media, saying he was alerted about the game by state representative and former Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin. Burrows directed the House Committee on State Affairs to push for accountability from companies like Roblox. The focus will be on content moderation, age verification, and preventing predatory contact between minors and adults. Burrows said in part, while nearly 40% of Roblox's 144 million daily users are under 13, there must be zero tolerance for weak safeguards and indifferent oversight. Platforms that allow content glorifying real-world violence are putting children at risk.
I'm grateful for Mr. McLaughlin, our state rep, to raise awareness, to raise a flag and say, hey, we got to do something about this. But the fact that we even have to get to that point, it's upsetting.
And that was Zach Briggs reporting. Roblox says that it uses safety filters and is rolling out new age verification tools as the investigation moves forward.
Here at home, we're getting a clearer picture of how powerful the Valero plant blast in Port Arthur was this morning as we look deeper into the investigation. Attorney Brent Kuhn says inspection teams found that large industrial pipes meant to withstand extreme pressure ripped completely open. Experts also discovered a valve that had detached from the system, raising questions about whether equipment failure or pressure buildup played a role. Investigators say the scene is filled with warning signs as they continue to piece together what went wrong.
There's always red flags when you're walking around in a plant that's already blown up once. So the first thing you want to do is just be on guard that you're not going to have another incident.
Officials say it's still too early to pinpoint a cause, but several possibilities are being reviewed. Well, a teacher is going viral for using a Justin Bieber song to help teach his students their times tables.
Yeah, whatever you have to do to make it stick, right? Check this out.
And I was like 7, 40, 21, then 28 and 35, then 42 and 49. You're counting up in 7s, yeah. 56 and 63.
And that was Kip Brown teaching his kids their 7 times tables to the beat of Justin Bieber's song Baby. Some of the comments saying I would have passed my math test if we studied like this.
Right. School wasn't fun like that for us. We weren't singing along. We just had to learn it.
We did learn one song to learn our 3 times tables, actually.
Remember it?
Yeah, I don't remember the song exactly, and I'm not going to sing it for everyone right now.
There was one for the 50 states, though.
Ah.
I don't remember it, but I remember there was one that helped me remember.
Sing-alongs, they help. All right, a viral TikTok has pet owners everywhere saying, yep, been there.
One woman sharing the chaos that unfolded after picking her dogs up from daycare. It started with a mystery mess and only went downhill from there.
So then I'm driving, listening to my Bad Bunny, whatever. All I hear is JoJo throwing up in the backseat. And so I'm looking like, where's it at? Jet has laid in it. No, thank God. Thank God, you guys. Thank God. So whatever, he gets scared because I'm like, oh no. And so he rolls in it some more. Okay, everybody stop. Full stop. Driving so fast.
Things only spiral from there. By the time she gets home, it's baths, then one pup goes missing. She finds him safe, but you truly never know what to expect with pets.
Oh my goodness, they'll keep you on your toes, won't they?
Definitely a story time there. Well, Hakeem Jeffries is used to facing tough questions, but not from reporters who aren't even old enough to drive.
Yeah, yesterday it was Take Your Child to Work Day across the country and on Capitol Hill. And 2 junior reporters were CNN anchors Mauriceville's 10-year-old twins. Take a look.
Why do voters view Democrats so poorly?
Did your dad give you that question?
Yeah, he was also
We'll have words
asked.
with you after this, Manu.
He was also asked what his favorite candy was and what he wanted to be when he grew up. Very cute. I like that. We're here at home. Yesterday was the first ever Take Your Child to Work Day at the Jefferson County Courthouse. Several employees, they brought their kids, giving them a behind-the-scenes look at the justice system. They even got deputized.
Cool opportunity to see mom and dad at work, you know.
Absolutely. You can put them to work. I remember going to work with mom and dad just a little bit. So I don't know if it was Take Your Child to Work Day or if it was just, you know, we didn't want to pay for a babysitter day.
Or if you was just being bad at school day.
Probably a bit of both. Yeah.
All right. Well, Tia's Tales will be in Jasper tomorrow. The Jasper Library is hosting its first annual book festival with local artists, storytellers, and poets. I'll be on schedule to read from 12 to 1 p.m. at Sandy Creek Park. Still ahead on Daybreak, music at the McFaddens returns to the McFadden Ward House this evening. 12 News reporter Derek Jones is live with a look ahead. Plus, the social media influencers viral trend raises concerns, why professionals say the looks maxing community goes dangerously far.
Life doesn't pause when you're sick. Vaccines against respiratory illnesses can help protect you. Depending on your age and health status, it may be recommended for you to get vaccinations for flu, COVID-19, RSV, or pneumococcal infection. Vaccines can help keep you from having a rough time. Find out which respiratory vaccines are recommended for you and where to get them.
Now is the time to be inside.
Thousands are still without power in Jasper and Newton County. We have live team coverage spread out all across Southeast Texas tonight.
In good hands as well because of the emergency management office there.
Knocked over a space heater.
We're still expected to see plenty more rain today. So
the power was actually out at about 4 to 5.
A couple of minutes ago that they're out of power.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with 12 News and 12 News Plus.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
At Daybreak, mornings start before the sun comes up.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us here.
This is our home where we live, work, and stay connected to our community. When we bring you the news each morning, we're talking to our neighbors.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
From overnight news to weather and traffic that shape your day, our team keeps you informed, prepared, and connected.
It is a symbol of progress.
Make the move to Beaumont's #1 streaming newscast. Watch anytime, anywhere, weekdays 5 to 8.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
A popular looks maxing influencer made headlines this month after he suffered an apparent overdose live streaming. Clavicular, whose real name is Braden Peters, has gone viral for promoting the concept of maximizing your appearance through extreme means. Some advocates in the looks maxing community say their focus is on healthy and sustainable ways to empower young men. But experts say many aspects of the trend are going dangerously far. Leah Waldman has more on the viral pursuit of perfection.
For pediatric psychologist Dr. Erin McTiernan, the looks maxing trend has spread from social media to her clinic.
Whether it's labeled looks maxing or not, but a lot of content focused on self-improvement.
Looks maxing, like most trends, has a light and a dark side. What Dr. McTiernan described as soft maxing incorporates healthy habits like skincare routines, eating a balanced diet, and regular exercise.
Unfortunately, sometimes looks maxing takes it into a more rigid, regimented extreme category, and that's when we get more concerned.
Looks maxing influencer Clavicular, whose real name is Braden Peters, has made waves promoting illicit drug use to stay thin and has even said on social media he uses a hammer to smash bones in his face to make them appear more prominent.
These are harmful and risky behaviors that they can cause severe physical and psychological damage.
Rachel Rogers and her colleagues are conducting research into the trend. So far, they're finding it is more targeted toward influencing young men.
It could be that given that for men, typically appearance is not framed as a main concern, it has to be put within that no pain, no gain framework.
While looks maxing is framed as a way to improve your life by changing your physical appearance, both McTiernan and Rogers worry about the effects it's having on mental health.
The effects on what people are really looking for, that is their lives, their social lives, their self-esteem, their mental health, are short-lived.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Won't need the jacket this morning. We're in the 70s, right around 70 degrees in southeast Texas here, right at 70 here in Beaumont, also Kirbyville and Woodville, and then 72 in Jasper, Silsbee, and Orange, and 71 in Port Arthur. Outside, we've been seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies, just like we're seeing over towards Lake Charles. This camera brought to you by Market Basket as we look at some of the waterways over there in Lake Charles on our Roofing 911 Live SkyCam network. Winds pretty light out of the south, generally between about 3 and 5. As you get a little bit closer to the coast, they pick up between about 5 to 10. Later on this afternoon, we're expecting to see winds generally between about 10 to 15. And a lot of activity up into Arkansas this morning. You see a cluster of thunderstorms. Looks like they're marching right down into Little Rock for this morning. Already went through Fort Smith. This stuff will continue to move off towards the south and east, maybe clip northern parts of Louisiana later on this morning into this afternoon. Our futurecast doesn't show much in the way of any rain. We put in a 20% today for maybe a couple of showers here and there. That's about it. We'll be up into the 80s today like yesterday, maybe about 83 to 85 across most of the area. Then we'll fall back into the 70s for this evening with some partly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies overnight. We should stay pretty much in the 70s. We might see a few upper 60s, especially up towards the lakes area. So forecast today, we'll put in that small chance of rain with mostly cloudy skies and south winds at 10 to 15. Temperatures there, like I said, about 82 to 84 in general around the triangle here, and about 83 to 85 up in the lakes. Tonight I went ahead and put some 60s up towards the lakes. We might see 70s as far north as maybe Spurger and Kirbyville. We'll have to wait and see, but right now I'll go some 60s up north, 70s here to the south, and a little bit of a south wind at 5 to 10. 7-day forecast shows a warm weekend, middle 80s, partly cloudy skies, should be pretty dry over the weekend, and then early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, same type of deal, just some partly cloudy skies, 87, 88, out of the question for the first half of the week. Second half of the week, it could get a little wet right now. On Thursday, we'll go with a 30% coverage of a couple of showers. As we've been mentioning all morning, we might have to up that a little bit as we get into next week, but right now we'll just go 30% with temperatures still there in the middle 80s.
Looks pretty good for the weekend. I'll say that. Maybe humid. Have to drink some water, of course.
Yeah, but 86 is better than 96.
That's
we'll
right.
Take that 86. Yeah.
There's a crawfish festival Sunday here in Beaumont, so pretty decent temperatures for that.
Yeah, just depends on how spicy your crawfish are. You might be doing a little sweating.
That's right. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And happening tonight in Beaumont, the McFadden Ward House is once again hosting music at the McFaddens.
It'll feature the Symphony of Southeast Texas String Quartet. 12 News reporter Derek Jones has been live there all morning with the details. Hey, Derek.
Hey, Mark, it's here. The Symphony of Southeast Texas will be here tonight playing all types of different music from classical to contemporary. And I'm joined with Sarah Parker and Maestro Chelsea Tipton. And Mr. Tipton, could you tell me a little bit about how you guys plan on balancing the classical music with contemporary?
We want a variety. We want a variety of music so that whatever you're interested in, whatever type of music you're interested in, you're going to find it on this program, whether it's classical music, whether it's iconic pop music. We've got a little Queen, we've got some ABBA, we've got some Beatles going to be on the program, and we just want to make it fun. We want to make it something that takes people down memory lane, but also maybe introduce them to a little bit some other music that they may not have heard before. So it's a great concert for young people. It's a great concert for first-time goers to see what the symphony is about.
Gotcha. And then why specifically a quartet instead of the whole symphony?
Well, we wanted to see how this goes, and we wanted to see, one of the big parts of a symphony is chamber music, and that's where things sort of started for symphony orchestras. So this will be 4 players, 2 violins, viola and cello, and they can do such a large variety of music, which is part of the reason we wanted to have them to start this off. But we're excited about this collaboration with the McFadden Ward House. They've had such a long history in the community, and so have we. And so it's 2 great organizations coming together to serve our community.
Gotcha. And then Ms. Parker, could you tell me a little bit about what this partnership means to Southeast Texas and why classical music plays such a big role here?
Well, we're just so honored to partner with the Symphony of Southeast Texas because we are both organizations that are dedicated to the arts, bringing the community together and celebrating the wonderful things about Southeast Texas. And for our site, historically, the McFaddens brought in orchestras. They've had players in their historic home that is our museum today. And we're always honored to continue their traditions. And we're so grateful to Mamie McFadden Ward and her generous funding for the McFadden Ward House Museum.
Thank you two so much for joining me here. So if you guys are looking for something to do, you can join us at the McFadden Ward House tonight. Marketia?
Looks like a lot of fun, Derek. Thanks a lot.
When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush hour. The time now 7:51.
In my group, I took the best photos. We were always trying to look cute online. That's how I met him. His DM asked if I was a model or if I wanted to be. Asked for more pictures and then to meet up. I thought I was in control, but it was always him. Girlhood should be selfies and silly filters, not sex traffickers hitting you up on social.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Step up in the building, yeah, we don't got no ceilings. Get them out their feelings, yeah, I'm taking out the villains. Got them on their feet, jaws dropping. History's revealing and they know they can't stop it. Woo! Watch me take flight. It's a different sight when you take it to this height. They can stop the freedom that I got. Feeling like an eagle, watch me take it to the top. I seen you can't crop, and you know this.
It's 4 words no parent should ever hear.
Your child is sick. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference.
Healing begins with happiness. Learn more at starlight.org.
Texas News Now, one power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. Weekdays, noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
And welcome back to Daybreak. It is 7:54 right now. It is time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. 2 minors are still in custody after a shooting and crash in Beaumont Tuesday. Police say a driver was shot at on Calder Avenue, then chased before the suspects crashed into another car and took off. Both now face charges including deadly conduct and aggravated robbery.
And this car slammed into the Good Grounds Coffee and Cafe in Lumberton yesterday morning. Police say the driver was trying to park but ended up driving right on through the front doors. No one was hurt in all this, but the driver was taken to the hospital as a precaution. This is still under investigation.
Attorney Brent Coon says inspection teams found that large industrial pipes ripped completely open during the Valero refinery blast in Port Arthur. Experts also discovered a valve detached from the system, raising questions about whether equipment failure or pressure buildup played a role. Officials say it's still too early to pinpoint a cause.
Warm, a little breezy today. Temperatures in the lower 80s. We'll put in a small chance for a couple of showers for your Friday. Dry over the weekend with highs in the middle 80s. Even warmer next week as we'll see low rain chances all the way through Thursday. Thursday may be about a 30% coverage there of a couple of showers.
Reasons to Smile, sponsored by Reisinger and Valls Orthodontic Specialists.
And here's a reason to smile. Hampshire Finette ISD celebrating a major milestone. Jade Hill, she has reached 400 career strikeouts as a softball pitcher. Now Hill has been a dominant force in the circle, showcasing skill, composure, and consistency. The district says that her achievement reflects her hard work, dedication, and leadership on and off the field. Congratulations. Also, share your reason to smile with us. Just text us your story and photos to 409-838-1212 so that we can share what's making you smile with all of Southeast Texas. That's quite an accomplishment right there, 400 strikeouts.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It is.
400, yeah.
Good for her.
All right, thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11 a.m. for midday.
Have a great day, everybody.